Alrighty. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day out there today. More news about the war, more news about what Congress is doing, which I think is some pretty good stuff. More Fed news today. There's a lot to talk about here, and a good opportunity for Bitcoin to do something of a dip and rip. So that's kind of be the focus of today's stream. Sorry I wasn't able to stream with you guys yesterday. I've been kind of feeling under the weather over the past few days. I'm not entirely sure what it is, so I'm not even going to be that fast and acting with you guys like normal. I'm gonna be pretty slow today. It'll be more informative, I'm sure, but I gotta get used to whatever the frick is going on with my head. I think it's just a lack of sleep. I may need a CPAP or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but happy to see all of you guys here. No green screen for the next few days. I'm getting my floors cleaned and everything like that, so I just don't want to have it behind me. So today we get the fireplace, everything going on here. And hey, here's Johnny. Happy to see my man. Today I got some beef lung for Loki. I think he's going to enjoy this quite a bit here, but it's just kind of hard to break it. There we go. No, I messed up. I should have finished by saying it's kind of hard to break it without it crumbling all over the place. But here's Loki getting some nice little snacks. See? Pretty good. Yeah. You want another one? Here we go. You can have the small piece of it. There you go. You can have a little bit later on. But yeah, it's very, very crumbly. So, first of all, why don't we start off with the Bitcoin technical analysis as always. Maybe we'll kind of skip quickly through some altcoins, and then I just want to go through all the news of the day, because I'm looking at my news right now. I see the Fed, more Fed, Israel-Iran conflict, Senate passing the Genius Act, and then we have some stuff on X, right? So a lot of news to break down today. Hey, the Dolphin, happy to see you. Michael, happy to see you. I don't believe anything on Twitter or Facebook now. Everything's been going all over the place, and to be frank, I think one of the things, maybe for this one, let's go over here. My head's gonna be in a block, but I think that's all fine. One of the things I'm realizing really fast on X, as we kind of are looking at some of this news, ever since influencers started to get paid to like post on there, and the kind of rudimentary system that X has, I've been noticing that people are just making a lot of lies, even if they have the news badge, so they get more views, more money, more money. And I've been seeing that a lot, especially on the raw news alerts. That guy's been making up shit, all guy or girl, I don't know, making up shit for a minute. Sorry guys, Loki has a new squeaky toy and he's in love with it for some reason, so you guys might hear it. If it's too loud, I'm just gonna basically say bath and he'll go run off. Loki, where's your toy? Can I have your toy? No? See? Donut toy. Yep, there we go. So, hopefully that gets him. Oh no, he's bringing that back like he wants to play fetch. But anyway, guys, I have been noticing that a lot. I don't really use Facebook all too much, so I'm not entirely sure how that side's going on. But from the moves that are being made, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, it does lead me to believe that Trump is preparing for war right now. Whether or not he eventually pulls the trigger remains to be seen. But at this point, I'm more sure than unsure that he is going to go into war because of who's pushing him in that direction, right? So before all that, you guys can see Bitcoin's weekly chart right now. We're still doing fine. We're still hovering, you know, nothing crazy has happened. We're still at the same level we were back over here in May, same level we were back over here in January, same level we were back over here in December, and we're still just having some trouble having a larger breakout. And at this point, we just kind of have to accept it, because this news is really messing up all of the pumps that we've been having over the past few weeks, right? Now, I would say this last few days, weeks have been other stuff, as you guys might imagine. What I'm looking at right now, though, is just to see if Bitcoin is going to be able to break out of this trend line right here, and if we're going to be able to hold the support. Right now, it looks more likely than not that we can still break down below this Fibonacci level here, which won't be a catastrophic type of event. But I think we might have to retest the low 1,000 level a little bit. I've been trying to find a way to be very optimistic about this, and I've been thinking about news that could potentially get us going. And you know, we passed the Genius Act yesterday. We had a little bit of movement there, but overwhelmingly the Iran news just took back over, right? And then I was like, maybe the Fed will have something of a surprise. There was no surprise with the Fed, right? Last week's CPI was a little bit better than expectations, but it wasn't crazy. And then I think over the next few weeks, we don't really have much news that can really get things gearing up here unless it's something of a de-escalation between Iran and Israel. Okay, so when I'm looking at this chart right now, besides all the other technicals and things like that, I can see that stochastic is turning bearish, but the RSI, MACD, and change of character are still bullish. So I still have hope that, you know, over the next few weeks, Bitcoin can still find a way to go higher from here and then make us a good amount of money off of it. So I'm still dollar cost averaging. I'm not really going like a heavy short or anything like that. If you guys are wanting to do a short on a swing trade basis that'll last maybe a few, 3 weeks to 2 months basically type of trade, you can open up a short right now, but your stop loss should just be all-time highs. Nice and simple. You should be aiming for something more around the realm of like $90,000 price target, in, out, have your money, and be done with it, right? That's if you guys want to open up that type of short right now. Right now, I'm not doing so because the way the volatility switched up, the momentum is still on the bullish side, but short-term wise, this is where I'm going to start going over to the daily chart. This is where I think things are getting a little bit more choppy here. So you guys can see there's an order block here of support. We bounced off this order block before, and we've been going all over the place in the simple terms that I'm going to use here because of the resistance and support of a lot of these moving averages, right? We had a good trade here a few days ago where I saw we had an opportunity to break out above it. So I was like, hey everybody, I'm going to do a $1,000 10x long trade, and all I'm going to be doing is going from around here 105,000 to 107,500. Now I ran up all the way to like 108,000, almost 109,000, but I got out a little bit early, and that's something that, as you guys know, I do a lot, right? So basically, I made a couple $100 off that trade, nice, easy. But literally the day after, because of all this war talk, we came screaming back down. The reason I'm pointing this out, I'm kind of zooming in right now, as you can see, everything at this point is pretty darn bearish here. I thought we had an opportunity to keep this party, this gravy train going, so to speak, that we saw over the past, like about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But what ended up happening, of course, is this Iran news really took us into more of a risk-off environment, right? Now, that being said, what do you guys see right here? You guys see the 50-day moving average right here, which is the blue line, and the 20-day right here. No matter what happens today, it's going to be a blockbuster fun day. I want you guys to understand that. If you guys are day trading, this is your time to shine. Will there be higher risks because of what could happen in the war? Definitely. But this is where you guys can say, oh, okay, I have an idea now. If we decide to break back down, Bitcoin will probably start heading back down here towards $102,000. So if you're shorting right now, you still get a couple $1,000 out of it, right? Or a few $1,000 coming down from Bitcoin's price. On the other side here, if we manage to pump back up, we're probably going to end up hitting somewhere around here on $107,000 for $2,000 coming up on the upward side. There's going to be a nice swing. What I'm looking for on both of these sides is a breakout and a breakdown, and you can see on the upside here, it's going to be a little bit easier to find that level, right? Nice little trend line right here. We're pretty far away from it. We're trying to hold a general support level except for that nasty move, right? And on the other side here, you can see we're already in the process of breaking down here, right? Right, just broke down a few hours ago. We're trying to get back up in there, but we did break down with some bearish momentum. So more likely than not, you can see there's more of an opportunity for Bitcoin to come down. And again, by down, I just mean towards $100,000 to $101,000. We're not talking about breaking down below the support, in which case our next level of support is kind of around $95,000. We're not talking about that yet, right? So in the scheme of things, I'm still looking at this as a longer term consolidation, and if we do decide to drop down one more level, I'm going to be happy to buy some up. But as far as doing those really high leverage long-term trades here for like a week to 2 weeks, that's what I mean by long-term here, I don't really want to do anything like that. Like, I am pretty sure that Donald Trump, this is my own thinking, right? My own thinking. I am pretty sure Donald Trump wants to start this war with Iran, right? Now, maybe he doesn't want to like start in the scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure he's going to pull the trigger on the war, right? Now, besides Bitcoin doing what it's doing right now, altcoins as a whole, I think, are doing fine. You can see a lot of opportunities for still some good momentum here. And when I'm looking at this, you can see, let me go to the weekly chart. Ethereum is still again, between two moving averages here, trying to find the will to break out. It hasn't been able to do it yet, but you can still see that volatility is coming. So once Bitcoin breaks, you'll see Ethereum break in that same direction. You'll have some good money to be made if you guys are looking to day trade. Solana is already coming down. Dogecoin continues to try to hold support, but it is coming down. Trump token is coming down. Melania's been coming down for a minute. Excuse me. WIF is coming down. Bonk is coming down. Thought we might have a little bit of a poke. It's not happening right now. Miro is coming back down a little bit here. Baby Doge, right? You're seeing pretty significant drawbacks amongst most of the altcoins here. And part of that is just, again, we really are still seeing a higher Bitcoin dominance. We are getting very, very close to hitting that level, right? We're at 64.86, and we're basically looking for a little bit above 66%. We're less than 2% there. So this is still an idea where I'm looking at like, oh yeah, I definitely want to continue dollar cost averaging. I definitely want to be buying up some stuff. And what I'm going to do for this now is I think, why don't we just do it today later on during the stream. I'm going to be streaming until 7 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to have to stream a little bit earlier, I believe, because I have to be in Seattle at 2 o'clock. And I'll probably be up there until 9, so I want to make sure I can stream. So tomorrow might be a tomorrow morning stream, just to let you guys know. I'll think about it as the stream goes on. But what I want to do with you guys is we're going to make a portfolio of $1,000, and we're just going to make a, whatever the prices are now, for better or worse, we are going to make a new portfolio on CoinMarketCap. Now, I haven't finished putting all of my tokens into this. A lot of this stuff, it looks really great because this is all stuff I bought back in 2022 when the market was crashing, right? And I put a lot more of my money into Bitcoin and Ethereum than other stuff, right? But what I think I want to do is also, I got to put the losing trades, right? Like a Matic and things like that. But we can always create a new portfolio here. $400 into Bitcoin, $100 into Ethereum, $100 into Solana, and the last $400 we just kind of go $50 into a few meme coins, $20 into some really high risk meme coins under $100 million, and then we just let it sit and kind of see what happens. And then, you know, by the time altcoin season really hits here, I want you guys to have an understanding of just, if you guys would have just put $1,000, excuse me, into a small portfolio like this, what you could have made or what you could have lost. It depends on what happens, right? And then we'll do this again, I believe, when the market is crashing and burning and we're below the 100 and 150 weekly moving averages, right? You find those opportunities, I play around with them a little bit, okay? So that's kind of the goal for today here. As far as news is concerned, we did have some good stuff coming out today, I would say, overall. And that really comes down to what the Fed was going on about. And hey, Joseph, ready for war? I know nobody's ready for war right now, unless you got a massive short open, I guess. And hey, Sin, I can't pronounce your name, my man, but I appreciate you watching from India, I really do. And it's good morning over there. I know it's almost good. It's good afternoon, almost good night over here right now. And hey, Digital K, happy to see my man Halo World Scratcher. You heard Lakers sold their team for $10 billion? Yeah. Buss is going to be the governor. Yeah, that was very surprising. Jeannie Buss, not a diehard fan like her father before her, right? And hey, Perez, why do we keep on getting news for XRP price not moving? Because again, XRP is basically just a stable, not stable, it's just an altcoin. It's still going to move based off of what Bitcoin does. There's only a few tokens that can really do something special, and those are tokens like Tron. XRP really hasn't been able to kind of make itself look different, and I think that's just because everybody already has its formed opinions on XRP right now. Like, I own it. I've sold off a large chunk because it went up so high, but right now I'm not even dollar cost averaging the XRP. I'm just waiting to see what happens next. And I think a lot of people are doing the same thing. They may trade it, but they're not really looking for it as far as long-term gains. I think a lot of the eyeballs that would be looking on that are looking at Tron right now, because Tron has a political edge that XRP doesn't have. I believe the vice president of XRP, Ripple, I believe she donated to Kamala Harris's campaign. So Trump really hasn't been like messing with them as much. I believe they can probably get to Trump through David Sachs, but they're going to have to play it a little bit more carefully. What we've seen with Tron over the past few weeks, just from the Bitcoin conference, right? is Tron hosting massive events in Vegas and all these different expos, right? A lot of name recognition within the community. XRP has name recognition, but they just haven't been really throwing many parties and events and things like that, which it does matter, right? And then we also have Tron trying to go public in the United States, along like with a Trump-backed, I forget what the called SPAC, with a Trump-backed SPAC, right? So there's just a lot of eyeballs are looking over at that type of stuff because things are happening a little bit more. And XRP, it really hasn't been massive news just yet. Maybe at the end of the stream or a little bit later on, once we start like, you know, finding some stuff to do, we'll look at some of the news around XRP to see if anything's been really a game changer, and we'll kind of plug it into AI and see what's been happening, because maybe there's something I've missed, you've missed, and we just kind of want to talk about it, right? Labubu toys. No, I haven't heard about Labubu toys. I don't know much about stuff like that. Okay, so as far as the Fed is, you know, the Fed was having their announcement to the FOMC meeting. Things were staying the same. Rates are held steady. I don't think anybody anticipated a change here. You are seeing Republicans as a whole get more and more, and this goes for influencers as well. Like not just like I'm an influencer, but I'm talking about like the larger influencers that talk about politics and stuff like that. You are seeing a shift towards them saying, wow, this is starting to not make as much sense. We really do need to have some rate cuts here, right? And I don't think Jerome Powell likes that, but there's nothing he can do because he's set in his way of thinking about when the rate cut should happen. The good news for us, and this is why I say the good news, the Fed still sees 2 rate cuts this year, right? If we're having 2 rate cuts, that makes me very, very excited, because that is what starts up an altcoin season. That is what gets the economy humming, and that gives a big, big boost to Bitcoin and other altcoin, other, you know, crypto coins out there, right? Stock market, you name it, it should have a really good run. Now, if this is timed, maybe we're gonna have, let's say, you know, maybe Bitcoin dominance crashing along with rate cuts. I can see that being the catalyst for, you know, a good chunk of, yeah, a good chunk of the altcoin season here, which is why we're going to make a new portfolio here a little bit later, right? So I still think we're in a good spot. Now, I was reading all this stuff. I don't think there's really too much here that we need to focus on. You can see that they've started to cut rates a while ago, but we've been pausing for a minute, and we really need to continue cutting here. We really do. Now, I'm not saying we need to go to 0 again, because I don't think that's going to happen for a long time unless we have a recession, but we do need to start making our way back into the 3s. We're at 4.25 to 4.5. We need to start coming back down to like 3.5. That should be a target for right now. 3.25 to 3.5, like a full basis point down is what I'm assuming right now. So we'll see what happens, but again, I am every month, you know, every meeting, I am starting to sour more and more on Jerome Powell and his mistakes that have led up to all of this in the first place. All right, now Fed sees its preferred inflation gauge topping 3% this year, higher than the previous forecast, and this has to do a bit with the inflation, the tariffs. So more tariff data has come out. Some prices have gone up, not really a lot. Most of you guys probably haven't felt it, but this is his reasoning for still not cutting rates right now. And what's interesting about this as well is this is why I'm so cautious about going to war with Iran. If oil prices go higher, right, which they're higher right now, if oil prices continue to go higher, that basically means that, you know, gas is more expensive, energy is more expensive, the cost of moving goods is more expensive, which means smaller margins for companies, which means if they want to keep their margins strong, they have to pass those prices on over to you, or those costs over to you, in which case you most likely pay for them, right? Even if it's 80%, 90%, that's still enough for them to do and still make a good profit off of everything, as you might imagine, right? So again, this type of stuff isn't going to help Donald Trump get rates cut. Now, I was just going to read this for a second. I haven't actually had a chance to look at this one so far, but this is a CNBC article saying, here's what's changed in the new Fed statement, right? So, zoom. All right. So he says, all those swings in net exports have affected the data. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. And then this is what's removed, right? The new one is the unemployment rate and labor market conditions remain solid. Inflation remains somewhat elevated. He removed the unemployment rate has stabilized at a low level in recent months, and he changed it to remains low. Right now, he goes on to say the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the longer run. Uncertainty about the economic outlook has diminished but remains elevated, and he says uncertainty has increased further, right? So that's a good thing for us. The committee is attentive to the risks to both sides of its dual mandate, and that's it. Both sides of its dual mandate. He took out and judges the risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation have risen, right? So he's actually backing off a little bit here, and that's basically it. Yeah, a few names have been changed around. That's fine. There we go. All right. But yeah, so just a few little things, nothing surprising, I would say, right? But here we go into some of the war stuff of why people are freaking out a little bit more. And gosh, yeah, I don't know what to say about this stuff, guys. This is where you guys, if you have an opinion, feel free to let me know. And then, as always, I have X up here, so if there's any more news about Israel, Iran, and things like that, I'll find out. But right now, it's all about Lakers, Ted Cruz, and Karen Reed, so nothing crazy. Excuse me. There we go. So, Trump met with his national security team on Iran as U.S. prepares to evacuate citizens from Israel. These evacuations, as I know right now, have already been started. Okay, so we are actively moving people out of the Middle East. We are helping them find flights. We are helping them find ways to get out of Israel, basically. And usually we do that before we start intervening in a war. As you guys might imagine, Israel probably gave America a heads up because America pulled out a lot of its non-essential personnel out of different bases and embassies in the region around Iran, and they moved them into more safer territory. Now, you know, we know that Israel attacked right after that. Now that Trump is doing that right now, I wouldn't be surprised that in the next day or two, you know, I keep on saying 24, 48 hours, but I feel like it's just probably sometime this week, right? Sometime this week, we are going to see an attack by the U.S. on Iran, in which we pretty much plan to assassinate their leader, do a little bit of regime change on the side, and blow up their nuclear, I forget exactly what it's called, but basically the nuclear bunker that they have where they've been trying to work on getting a nuclear bomb and just, you know, enriching uranium, right? So you've been hearing more and more people talk about this. I don't really need to go into everything, but in the video this morning, I did want to point out that Ambassador Mike Huckabee said this: urgent notice, American citizens wanting to leave Israel, U.S. Embassy in Israel is working on evacuation flights and cruise ship departures. You must enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program step, right? You'll be alerted with updates. So, right, there's a way for people that want to get out of Israel to get out of there. How many Americans want to get out? I'm not entirely sure just yet, but you know they are working on it and they are actively trying to get out because, again, we've seen some of those crazy videos and footages coming out of Israel. There are, while not a lot, there are still bombs and missiles getting through the Iron Dome, and when they land, they can be pretty darn, you know, crazy. Like, let me see right here. Can I find it? Right, so there's still stuff hitting Israel right now. Oh, I don't know why it bounced behind my head, but there we go. Right? Nobody wants to be there if something like that's hitting you. Nobody wants to deal with that. And if you do want that to happen, I mean, damn, I mean, you gotta, you know, you're a cave diver or something like that, right? So, as this continues on, this is what kind of makes me a little bit more bullish on oil. As you guys know, I have a large part of my stock portfolio in ExxonMobil. This thing has been bouncing back up a little bit. I've been shaving off some, I think, since last year, right? So, like, you know, it's been kind of choppy since 2022. The dividends have been very good, really, really good, right? But we are seeing a nice little pop, and there's an opportunity for us to have a larger breakout, especially if we see oil prices continue to go higher. And I mean, it's higher today. It's been higher all week. You've actually seen gas prices go up week over week now because of all this new oil pricing. And maybe some of you guys, if you guys have gotten gas over the last few days, you have seen that get a little bit worse, right? Now, let me go back over here to Bitcoin, maybe to the 15-minute chart, kind of keep watch of what's going on. There we go. Now, that's kind of the bad news, right? Let's go back over here very fast. And then here we go. Here's the last bit of news we have for today before we start going into different, trades and stuff like that. Yesterday, the Senate passed the Genius Stablecoin bill, giving the crypto industry its first major legislative win. What we saw happen today was coin went up a lot, crypto.com went up a little bit, Coinbase went up a little bit here. So I think it was called Circle. Yeah, Circle went up a little bit as well. So we're seeing a lot of these crypto companies make some really good money. I don't think MicroStrategy went up that much today, but it's not really in the stablecoin business, so I understand it. But legislation is getting through, and that's very good news for us. And you can see the bill passed with a 68-30 vote, which is Democrats coming on board to crypto, supporting crypto, even if they don't like Donald Trump and what he's doing with crypto in his personal life and his personal business dealings. They still see this as a winning issue to support. And when Democrats feel like they have to support cryptocurrency, I think that's a good thing for all of us here, because we all remember when, Gary Gensler was anti-crypto and what that really did to our market and, more importantly, our portfolios, right? So that's it as far as news is concerned for today. And a little bit we'll hop on board and we'll start looking at some of the tokens that we can trade and things like that and buy. Right now, Aerodome Finance is up around 17%, having a nice, beautiful day. Kai is up a little bit. SPX is up. Generally some really good moves here. I'm probably going to add some of these to my portfolio, but I'll wait a little bit until we kind of settle down into some of these trades. And for now, you can see it's almost too choppy to want to do trades right now. We haven't even seen much. A little bit there, not much there, not much there, right? That was the 15-minute chart. 5-minute chart's doing a little bit better. But it might take a minute for us to have an opportunity to open up a trade here. And the 1-minute chart just opened up one right here, but those necessarily haven't been that good over the past few minutes. So I'll probably take a breather here and just chat with you guys and have some conversations. So if any of you guys have any questions on charts and things like that, let me know. This is going to be a pretty smoky move. Move. Yeah, let me give you Lamb over there. There you go. He always sits right behind my chair, so if I were to roll back without looking, I would roll over his tail or something, and then you'd hear a loud howl of pain, and I don't want that to happen, right? So let's go over here to the 15-minute chart, maybe even just over to the hourly chart, so we can kind of see what's been happening, because it has been chaotic here, and you can see there's a lot of resistance on top. There's still an opportunity for Bitcoin to have a pop today, but I think there's just a lot of fear out there. I've been dollar cost averaging. That's all I intend to do. I'm not even opening up any big longs or shorts right now unless I see something of some type of breakout, which for Bitcoin would happen in the next 2-3 hours. Everything else, if we just be following that Bitcoin there. And hey, didn't too much speculation about XRP? Well, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos about XRP from short form creators. But I haven't really looked at too much of them. Let me go over here and just go to XRP, right? Only future crypto millionaires can like this tweet. XRP. The year is 2045. We are still waiting for the Ripple lawsuit to be over. I don't really see much news here. XRP Golden Cross. Golden Cross happened a while ago. Hasn't really made a difference here. Let's see. Well, let me just go over to XRP. I've enjoyed using XRP. No, not XRP. ChatGPT. I've enjoyed using GPT to try to figure out more about what's happening with tokens. We last used it for Matic, if you guys recall. Can you give me any big news updates about Ripple and XRP? I have been hearing a lot. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Ripple and XRP. I have been hearing a lot about Rip of news, but the token really hasn't moved much. Can you explain why? Thank you. There we go. All right. And, maybe for now what I can do is I can zoom in so you guys can see right here. Current price $2.17. There you go. So despite the US Senate passing a stablecoin regulation bill, Genius Act, a generally positive sign for the cryptocurrency markets, broader investor sentiment remains cautious. The Israel-Iran conflict is pushing capital out of riskier assets like XRP and Bitcoin, while traders await the Fed's next move on interest rates. We already know what happened there. Ripple and the SEC filed a joint motion on June 12th, seeking permission to modify the injunction and redistribute the $125 million escrow, $50 million to the SEC, $75 million back to Ripple. A status report was due June 6th, but no public update yet. This delay means uncertainty continues. Market optimism around Judge Torres eventually ruling nudged XRP above $2.33 on June 16th to June 17th, but stalled again after experts saw new filing didn't add much legally. Whale wallet inactivity. On-chain data shows larger holders 1K to 100K XRP wallets are largely inactive, neither buying nor selling. This lack of movement signals uncertainty or a wait-and-see approach, which naturally restrains price action. Technical indicators paint a mixed picture. Traders see the rising funding rates 0.01% down, indicating increasing leverage positions without significant price moves, often a precursor to volatility. That's interesting, right? Chart patterns show consolidation in a tight range 210 to 230, with both bulls and bears failing to break any key or support and resistance levels, right? So what could break the stalemate? A legal breakthrough, macro tailwinds, or an on-chain jumpstart. Probably that one's not going to happen here right now based off of the data I've seen. I would say maybe a legal breakthrough might do it, but you could see there's just not really much going on for it right now, and that's just an issue that's going to have to be played out over time. But if you go look at the XRP charts here, look at the weekly chart. We've been bearish all the way since March 25th. That's why I never went long on this breakout here. We just never were bullish. So it just feels like we're in one long consolidation period here where sure you can buy, but I've been buying this for so long that my average of course is on the lower side here. My average I think is like close to 25 cents. So it's like way down here, right? So I think it's fun. It's still in a good spot. It hasn't really like fallen off a cliff yet. We came pretty close all the way back over here in was that March. We managed to bounce back up a little bit here, but when you look at this chart compared to all this stuff, let's just be happy that it hasn't been crumbling back down there, right? A lot of charts have been going down, 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 down. This is one that's been able to hold its own, make people some money if they've been holding for a while. And now I think you're just seeing some profit taking while others are coming back in to load up and wait for potentially another larger move. As far as the breakouts though, maybe if we're lucky we'll have one sometime in July, but it doesn't look like one's going to happen in June unless Bitcoin really gets going on us. And hey NFT here, happy to see my man. What are my thoughts on what in particular? And can you check out the others in the monthly? What do you mean by the others, man? If you tell me what to look for, I can check out a particular coin for you. And hey, really happy to see my man. Yeah, but XRP right now, it's just a consolidation. This is usually where people want to buy it if they're bored, like, hey, it's boring right now, I'll buy it. I'll sell it around $5, $6 when everybody else is like, oh my God, I need to get in before it's too late, But I mean, I sold off a good chunk. I've been holding this stuff forever, sold off a good chunk. Maybe I'll buy a little bit more, but I sold off pretty close to the top around like 280, 290. So, I'm pretty happy with my results so far. I don't really feel a need to buy into it more though. And that's for sure right now. In that case though, let me go over here to not the watch list, but here. We're going to make a new portfolio and we're just going to add the transaction manually. And we're going to have a group portfolio. Let's see. And let's have this one be safe. Yeah, safe. This one's gonna be like a good chunk of Bitcoin, and then we'll add some other stuff. And the other one will maybe be high risk. That way you can imagine if you had $2,000, you could have 1,000 here, 1,000 there. And then if you wanted to have just one portfolio that was safe, you'd put it there, vice versa, right? Excuse me, guys. And then let's go over here to create portfolio. I think for now, let's just say we're buying Bitcoin right now, and we are going to buy God, my math is so bad. That work? No. There we go. We're buying about $500 of Bitcoin, so half this portfolio will be straight Bitcoin. Okay, that's what makes it safe, right? Add transaction. Now let's do one more. Let's do Ethereum. Let's do $50 of Ethereum. And for now, I guess we can also just do $50 of not XRP, but Solana. Maybe we should split some up. I don't know. Maybe we should do a little bit there. Let's add some XRP in there. You never know if it's going to work out, right? So let's do maybe about 25 of that. Right. And now we have about $649. We got about $350 left. What tokens do you guys think I should be adding into here? And it could be basically any token that you guys are thinking of. It can be high risk, low risk, it could be Pi, Pepe, I don't know. But I know there's a bunch of tokens that we've been talking about over the last few months that you guys probably want to have in here. Maybe something like official Trump token. Let's do 0.05. No, God, my math is so bad. Oh, geez, no. Yeah, we just want to have two. Around 20 bucks of this one right here. See if it goes anywhere. Hyperliquid's been making some good moves here. We can do one of Hyperliquid. I know it feels weird only going after a little bit here. And hey, Haven, sell? What is sell? Oh, SEI. Okay, I see what you're saying. SEI. Let's maybe go for 500. No. We need to trim that down to maybe 350. Nope, a little bit less. 280. There we go, 280. A little bit more than others. So yeah, there we go. And then so we have around a little over 200 bucks left for this. And hey, Ramsey's Doge is doomed. I mean, might as well come in here and buy some just in case it comes back then. Let's go for 30. 100. No, let's go for 250. Yeah, a little bit right there. So we got room for maybe about like 4, 5, 6 more tokens, I would say right now. And we can kind of keep track of how everything does day by day. In case some of you guys want to do this. This is actually how I do my how I try to track and make portfolios for my crypto.com account and Coinbase accounts when I was younger. I used to try to use this thing and say, hey, I got this much, what can I buy? And I have everything listed up, so okay, I'll buy some of this, I'll buy some of this, I'll buy some of that, right? But I'm happy Doge has actually been doing okay so far this year. There are so many tokens that have been doing bad, and Dogecoin really isn't one of those terrible ones, right? You can see a lot of red in this chart. You know, I guess, you know, when Dogecoin hit a nickel, I think a lot of people were just afraid that it was never going to come back. And you look at Dogecoin's chart, it's definitely managed to come back up a lot. Now, is it the best performer out there? Oh, hell no. But yeah, it's still been solid so far. And hey, unpack bubble maps on Sol. Oh, is that a token? Bubble maps on Sol? Let me know if that's a token or not, because I still got around 200 bucks to invest on this one particular portfolio. My main portfolio, I got to add a lot more. The funny thing is, all I did was buy one Bitcoin back. You know, it was over dollar cost averaging it though, but my average was around 22,000 bucks, 22,500, and that's basically made me the majority of my money here, because Dogecoin made me some money back in the day, right? Solana made me a little bit of money here, but nothing close. Solana was a dark horse, I guess, for my portfolio because, you know, I bought a few $100 worth and now it's doing pretty well, right? But yeah, well, I bought a little bit more than $100 worth, but yeah, it's definitely been pretty well compared to Ethereum. Ethereum's only up 77% since I bought it. Solana's up almost 500% since I bought it. Dogecoin's up 7,000%. Of course, can go higher. Bitcoin's up 365%. Bitcoin's been a trooper here. Very much been a trooper. BMT. I don't know if it'll do BMT, but I mean, let's see. Bub maps. There we go. Yeah. If we set to small market cap, let's add 75. Yeah. Let's add 75 to make it a $10 position. In fact, let's just go to 150, make it a $20 position. There we go. So we got that one in there. Thanks for letting me know the ticker. If you tell me the ticker, I can probably find it pretty well here. Let me see. Let me just do a quick little check on Bitcoin here. Make sure how this is rocking and rolling. No, still consolidating. Not much going on here. And nothing big on the news is happening. Mexican wrestling. Ted Cruz, Man Reeves, Blackburn, Zeus, Whoopi Goldberg, Drum Powell, Juneteenth, Henry Ruggs. Oh no, okay. Pretty slow night actually. I'm liking this. No crazy news is a good news day, I would have to say, right? All right, so we got room for a few more tokens. If any of you guys have any tokens, let me know. I need to. Well, I'll add my own tokens later on. This has been an interesting year or an interesting cycle. Because you can see, I don't know if there's another way to show more data here though. Because this is profit, like, you know, 413% return on my investment all time. But that's basically over, what, 3 years almost, 2.5 years basically is almost to July, right? So that's not bad at all. That's not actually, that's pretty darn good, I would have to say, right? And hey, so them total, I don't know if that's a ticker or what, but a total for what? My crypto portfolio is larger than this. This is just a few tokens I've added. I have a lot of tokens. Like right now, let me go over here to my Matic chart. Because I need to add losses on there too, because that just shows you gains, and I wish I was that good, guys. I wish I was that good. Now, I guess I technically have sold some Matic because it has not been performing well, but where are we back over here? Yeah, so 81 cents for Matic. So what is that? Averaging out around 64 cents. So, and then 0.64. What's on my phone? There you go. And then, No. Oh, damn, it's making me realize how much money I've lost. Shit. 50? 90? There you go, about that. Okay, no, one more zero. There you go. I've spent about $2,000 in there. Granted, it was money I made back during the first big rally, but I was pretty confident back in the day that Matic was going to have a good move, because back in the day, this thing was chugging like nobody's business. Now you put this in now, and then you realize, uh-oh, I lost like $1,500 off of this trade so far, right? Now other ones are still doing fine, you know. But for the cycle ones, I guess there's not as many meme coins and cycle trades for me, because usually the meme coins take a little bit more time to kind of pop up, you know. Tron, oh god, when did I buy Tron? I've been buying Tron for a minute, so it's going to be a little bit weird. I'm just trying to go off of my cycle moves, so probably closer to like what, 0.00. Let me aim high, 0.007. Let's go a little bit above where my probably is. Yeah, 0.07 should be fine. And then I tossed about, this is right after I met Tron for the first time, and I was like, oh, you guys get some good shit. A little bit more than that. You guys know I typically put about a few $100 into tokens I really like, but I gotta really like them. $413, yeah. And that one's been doing okay. That's what, up $1,000 so far, you know? Total crypto, named Total Crypto Market. So it's a ticker named Total. Nope, I don't see a ticker for Total on here, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Yeah, but I definitely have some losses in here. I'm just surprised it's not more, because if I think of all of my stuff is on cold storage. I don't have my cold storage wallet on me. Let me go over here. ADA, yeah, ADA is one I've had for a minute. I don't even check out ADA that much anymore, actually. Like 48 cents. Yeah, let's go about 48 cents. I'm trying to overdo what my actual entry was, so I don't like, you know, say like, oh, I bought it at a really good price, because normally I don't. Normally I'm buying it just when everything's crashing. And that one was like, oh god, 88, so that's probably a little bit more, right? So that's about like, yeah, more like that. 88's been around for a minute. And 88's made me what, a return about $111. I guess I'll take that. 88 has not been, I guess, as good as I thought it would be. Oh, I did the wrong portfolio though, that's why. Yeah, definitely wrong portfolio there. Why is it like that? There we go. We're gonna have to do this again, and I want to find a way to share this with you guys when we do it during the next bear market type of cycle, right? 48, and I'm gonna say it was like, around there. Alright, there we go. Really, Matic has been the worst performer for me so far. And there it goes, at least it says it now. Alright, there we go. Kind of keep track of all this stuff now. Alright, let's see. The market looks a little bit red today. I don't really see too much good news here. Let me go over to X and see if there's any big news that we need to follow as far as the Israel, Iran, there we go. Thomas Massey's talking about it still. Let me go over here very fast and zoom in a little bit. There we go. So most Americans do not want U.S. involvement in Israel, Iran, a war. Yeah, we don't want to be in a war with Iran. That's basically what he's saying. Sorry, I am a little bit tired today. Netanyahu is not the president of the United States. He should not be determining U.S. foreign policy and military policy. If the people of Israel support his decision to start a war with Iran, that is their business and their war. The United States must not be a part of it. That is interesting, right? Saying no to war with Iran is not the same as supporting Iran. Saying no to war alongside Israel is not the same as hating Jews. These are basic concepts. What the fuck is wrong with everybody? What do you call? That's mainstream media right there. That's how they play the game. Let's see right here. Candace Owen says, "Oh, I love Candace Owen. She's chill." She says, the same people who say Iran can't have a nuke because they are religious fundamentalists are the same people who uphold the heretical belief that we must support Israel's non-stop campaign of murder, blackmail, land theft, bombing, and starvation of the innocent because God will bless the 1948 creation of the nation of Israel. Oh, what do you call? I just thought of that movie, what's it called? Kingdom of Heaven. And all they say, they scream in the movie is God wills it, God wills it. And I'm wondering if somewhere you're gonna see like Ted Cruz say God wills it. Oh man, a lot of stuff going on here. Let me see. What's that? Oh, okay. Sorry, something weird kind of happened just a second ago. Let's see. No, not too much. I mean, you do see some cool stuff as far as, you know, bombing and things like that. Tracking different shipments of missiles. But see, that's the thing. They're tracking them like This thing must have came from a spot where they knew where all the missiles were at, right? But they're not blowing up that building, maybe because it's hidden at the bottom of an apartment complex or something. But regardless, you know, there's still a lot of bombing going on right now on both sides. But I think the Iranian bombing is getting less and less just because of what's been happening here, right? Buy only Fartcoin, Michael? What we can do is we can have, let me see, Fartcoin mania. I mean, we could see, I mean, I have Fartcoin, right? I have Fartcoin now, but I don't own too much of it. But let me see, I mean, let's just say we bought 400 bucks of it now, right? Spent $445. In fact, I wouldn't spend that much. I spend $350. Yeah, that around $400 is what my level is usually for meme coins, right? So add that, and we'll have it here. We'll see what it ends up being for sure. We can do that for sure. This is actually tracking what mine I bought. Oh, I don't even know where Fartcoin. Where's Fartcoin at right now? I bought mine, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, it's maybe I bought a little bit less, but I didn't buy down here. I'll tell you that now. Didn't buy anywhere over here. I bought in this little valley. Not the same thing. But yeah, so I got some. We'll keep track of it here. This is definitely something I'm going to sell the majority of during the cycle. I'm not going to wait like for altcoin season to end and it's already gone all the way up here and it's all the way down here. No, I'm not going to do that type of game. If it decides to pump, I will go crazy with it and I'll be happy to sell. That is for sure. And Bitcoin just doing a whole bunch of nothing right now. Choppy, 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 because we don't know if we want to be able to break back up again or if we're going to try to roll over here, because everybody wants to know what Donald Trump is doing. But yeah, Fartcoin Mania, this is the group portfolio safe here. I just know what else to put in this particular group here for a safe trade. Like, normally when I'm thinking of things that usually make me some good money here, maybe we could add some BNB. BNB is a safer thing to hold, right? If I can find it. There we go. Let's say we bought some now. So let's say we're just gonna buy 30 bucks. No, we can go up to let's see, in this example, I guess we're going to 0.4. A couple $100. No, oh sorry, this is a totally different thing. Yeah, okay, we do have to go smaller. .09, there we go. A little bit right there. Anyway, so I'm happy you learned a lot from me, dude. I know I'm pretty boring right now. I'm tired. Part of this fasting stuff, it's not even fasting, I've been eating, right? I think I just have not been getting enough sleep in my day-to-day life, and it's been messing with my whole day. So like I've been feeling kind of like blah, 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 which I think is a bad representation to put out for you in the channel, but it is what it is right now. And I haven't even been able to get the 5 videos I want a day. I think I've been putting out 2 videos, but they have been working, and I'll show that with you guys in a second here. And the next one here, hey Tyler, Pepe. Pepe's a really good choice. I'm surprised I didn't think of Pepe. And then, oh god, how many did we buy? Like what? We could say $51 of Pepe. We can actually say, yeah, that's fine for now. There, and we got about $70 left. $70 left. Chronos. You know, during an altcoin season, Chronos typically does pretty well too. So let's go over here and say 580, 700. Oh no. $750. There you go. About $1,000 bucks. $1,026. That's our portfolio right there. Okay. So, and we'll add Bonk to another one here. That'll be a high risk one. That'll be actually pretty fun too. Bonk's been pretty good. Let's see. And hey, Verlet, would like to take your old PC for a few weeks and fix what's wrong with it. I don't even know. What did I do with my old PC? I think it's upstairs somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I could always pass it on down so you could see if you could fix anything about it. I don't even know. I mean, the crazy thing is it works and then it doesn't work, and I never figured out what it was. I think it's either a connection issue. I think it's a connection issue within the what do you want to call it? Within the GPU itself. Like something is broken with inside the GPU. That's close. That's actually very close to where the connection goes, where the HDMI connectors are, and that's basically what it is. And hey, tell you own a crap crow, you own a crap ton of crow. Well, crow is one of my favorites during a cycle because you know how they have all those benefits. People load up on crow, and it's very hard for them to sell fast once they kind of get into it. If they're locked into like a card. So what do you call it? It's usually a pretty good token like that. Look, back up. Get in my spot here. Loki would like another lamb treat here. There you go. I know, smells kind of funky, don't you think? Oh, he's enjoying it. Okay, so we have a couple portfolios to talk about. We'll add another portfolio, let's say sometime tomorrow. I know there's not as much exciting things to talk about here today, but we'll get into it. Now, we still have an opportunity for Bitcoin to break out here today. I think it still definitely can do that because of the moving averages and those levels of resistance we talked about on the 4-hour chart and on the daily chart right here. It really just depends on if we do make our move back down, right? If Trump declares war, we drop no matter what. If Trump doesn't declare war in the next 24 hours, we ride up and we make a good play for like $107,000. Most people would be taking longs right now just because we still technically are at this order block here, but it's just a dangerous long because of the news. Forget about the news for a second, you're taking this long right now. So just before we start getting into the grindy stuff, overall, that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Weekly chart, if we have the war, I think it'd be more of a dip and rip, but I still think we can go higher because usually every time we have these nasty moves, we are able to pick ourselves back up pretty fast. As you can see right here, nasty move, pick ourselves right back up. Happens all the time. And hey, Luxguy, happy to see my man. Dude, it's been a busy day for me too as well. We just made a group portfolio here with $1,000, basically just talking about owning some Bitcoin, some Crow, BNB, XRP, Pepe, Ethereum, SEI, Solana, Dogecoin, Hyperliquid, Bubble Maps, and official Trump here. We're buying all of this stuff up $1,000 worth and gonna see where it takes us. This is our safe portfolio because technically like half of this is just straight Bitcoin, so we can balance it out, especially during a Bitcoin dominance type of scenario here. But yeah, that's the portfolio. You can watch back a few seconds if you want to see me put all it together, but that's basically it. Or just like, you know, see me, that you can see how much I invested in it, right? Average price, you know, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day. But yeah, so as far as my new content, guys, two things here, and this is more of a channel update, I would say. Boop-a-doop. So some of the videos have been taking off, some I've been realizing are not. So this is a video I made about gas prices, and these videos never did well, but I thought I'd give it a shot just to see if anybody was interested. You guys like me talking about this stuff within other videos, but not many people like this video. That's just, you know, something I gotta learn about. But as far as my new content, like this is one I got today. What's been happening is, let me zoom in here a little bit. This gray area right here is where my videos normally go. It is getting higher, and then the next day what I'm seeing here, and I'll show you guys with this video right here, it gets this second bump, right? And then it gets over 1,000 views. So I've been seeing myself make a little bit more in terms of views. I don't make money obviously, but more in views, which I think is pretty good. You can see above my head right here, the views stopped a few hours ago, but that's okay. This was a short-term thing that happened. I wanted to make content about it and it got pushed out. Over here, Trump moves on Iran. You can see the difference in what's happening over here where my normal views are at on the bottom and where the actual views are. I'm gonna do this more and more and more. I gotta work on my thumbnails and stuff like that, but I think it should be fine. Here's another one right here. You can see it had that nobody was really, it got slow movement. The algo picks it up because people are watching it. I get some subscribers, it grows, and then it flatlines once the news is no longer relevant, right? So I do think this is actually working out pretty well for me. So you will see me making more content. My thing is, this is entirely my fault actually. I've been going to bed so late and I've been waking up so early, and I don't need to do that. My body naturally wakes up after a certain amount of time of sleep, so I think I need to start falling asleep around 1 o'clock in the morning and then wake up around 9, so get like 8-9 hours of sleep, maybe 10 o'clock, and then start making content for you guys and doing all that good stuff here, because the videos are gaining traction, right? I do think that's very, very good. It's just that I need to focus on what content works best, and I need to be able to do it in a way where I sound like I'm not tired, because I feel like I'm tired making all these videos, and I like the content I'm making, I like what I'm talking about, but to be frank, I'm just tired while making them. So I think, and this is because when I get home, I got ADHD, I hop on my phone and I'm just on my phone for like an extra hour, 2 hours, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, it's 3 o'clock, I should get to bed. Then it's 3 o'clock and I'm like, oh okay, I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up, it's like 7 o'clock and I didn't get much sleep. Now if you do that for one day, maybe not so bad, but if you do that day after day after day after day, it's not a pleasant experience. So that's on me, and I'm gonna try to get better at that myself. Tomorrow I'm gonna be in Seattle around 2 p.m. and I'm gonna be up there till like 9 p.m. and because of that, because tomorrow's Thursday, I don't stream on Friday or Saturday. Because of that, I'm going to stream earlier tomorrow, so I probably will stream from like 11 a.m. to 12:30 for like an hour and a half stream, and then I'll probably stream more midday Friday just to make up for some of that, so we can kind of talk. And I already kind of have an opinion that I may have to stream this weekend anyway, especially if there's a war going on. I'm gonna cover that, you know what I mean? So that's also something. And here's a side thing that I've had to work out myself, because I do want to make more money, but I don't want you guys to necessarily like donate money and stuff like that to me. My channel's demonetized. You guys know I'm not making any money from my content right now, but I still do it because I enjoy it quite a bit, and it's relaxing to me in some ways. I did make another channel. This is a channel that some of you guys are probably already subscribed to, or you might have noticed the names are still there. It's called Trading Tutorials and Technical Analysis. I think I'm just gonna leave it as that. I made a little logo for and everything like that. I got 276 subscribers. There's no content right now. Maybe some of you guys are my subscribers, I don't know. There's nothing on this channel though, because I deleted everything, I reset it all. All of my new smart money concepts, all of my new tutorials, all of my daily technical analysis kind of ideas and stuff like that, they will all be here, and the sponsors for this will just be cryptocurrency exchanges. The same ones I've had for a while, Weeks, Blowfin, KSX, all that type of stuff. KSX is a new one, but all those ones, all of them, right? So I will be hyping that up bit by bit in my videos here. All of my tutorials will now be on this one, and I'm gonna start making all of my other content on the channel I'm on right now. Okay, so all of this stuff. So this one will kind of go in a separate direction where I'm still streaming about crypto, I'm doing the market stuff, I'm talking about the markets in these videos and stuff like that, but it'll just be a different vibe. If you guys like the really dense technical analysis tutorials, which I love to make myself, you're gonna find that on the other channel. And then starting tomorrow, I'll have the link of that channel down in my description, and I'll have it pinned in the comments of these streams, so you guys can always follow it really fast and kind of see what's going on there. And I think that'll be nice. But I was trying to figure out how to push all of this stuff into the same channel, and I guess it just doesn't work. And yeah, it just doesn't work, right? So I think it'll be fine. I'll be making tons of content, but this one's gonna be more of an experimental gram where I'm having a lot of fun doing a bunch of crazy stuff, while the other one, once I get up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, that's where you guys are gonna see that, oh yeah, I'll get monetized. You guys may see ads on that channel, but it'll take a minute for all that type of stuff, right? And if you guys want to be members and stuff like that, you guys can always go over there. And maybe eventually what I'll do is, if that channel starts to take off, maybe I'll move all of my live streams over to that channel so I can build up a member community again and stuff like that. And this one will just be a whole different channel that I don't know what I'll do with it, to be honest. But I need to like start making more of an income, because I was going through my budget for YouTube, and I don't have enough money to hire that full-time editor that I was talking about, so you guys haven't even seen that content. So that's why I moved over to this type of stuff, and I'm like, okay, there we go, because I want to try to keep my YouTube budget kind of like strong, so it's not like becoming a money drain, because the moment it starts to drain money out of myself, I'm gonna feel stressed, and I'm feel like, oh god, I need to like start making wild fucking content, which is not the type of stuff I do. Hence why I'm not making wild content now. I'm literally going to make a new channel from the boring technical analysis content, which I think will be fun, because your guys, the people that watch my tutorial videos, you guys always ask a lot of questions. I like to answer those questions with more videos, and I think it's easier to do that over there as well. So that'll be kind of fun. And then when I got my partnerships with exchanges, I always get you guys good discounts and things like that, which I think go a long way to make sure that you guys don't have to pay the high fees that everybody else has to pay if they're just googling for a exchange, or if they're another influencer. Remember, a lot of influencers don't like to give less fees because that means they make less money on the back end. I don't mind making less money on the back end as long as you guys are learning from me and watching, and hopefully making some profit off of all this, right? So yeah, so those are a few updates right there. Sorry for the long rant, but I've been wanting to find a way to like say all that stuff, but I haven't really found the best way to do it because something's always happening. Lately, the last time I was going to do it, I think there was more bombs going off between Israel and Iran. I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot about all that type of stuff, right? You do a food dive into all parts? Yeah. Message me on Discord, and I'll have time this weekend. This Sunday, I'll have the time this Sunday to meet up with you and say hi. Yours would be on top. Hope you can sort things out with YouTube. Man, I've given up on YouTube as far as this particular channel that I have, the Michael Whitman channel. Dude, I have no idea. So what I think I'm gonna do here is with this channel here, you guys know I got demonetized in January, and let me just go over to Bitcoin so we can kind of watch it, because I want to see if we do have a breakout here on the 15-minute chart. It looks like we were trying to get one, but we're just up at resistance. You can see that 200 moving down, so we have the opportunity here pretty soon for those that want to take the trade. With that channel, the channel you're talking to me on now, I have lost a considerable amount of hope of YouTube just telling me what I did wrong, right? And because YouTube can't point to a video in which I broke their rules, or say you broke the rules in this video this time, or all these videos you broke the rules, whatever, because they won't tell me, and I've reapplied a couple times and they've just denied me every single time without telling me again the reason and what video is causing the issue, I'm just gonna start from scratch, and I'm going to with other channel, right? The channel I have now, though, I think I'm gonna make it more into, and this is like a longer term plan, right? Because I'm just gonna be streaming on here. So if you guys just want to hear me stream, you guys come here. We're gonna be talking about the same stuff every day, right? Maybe a little bit different if there's like a war, but everything that affects the markets will be doing that. And then eventually the Dogecoin stream won't be on this channel anymore. It'll be moved on to the other channel. All right, that's the crazy thing. So this one will be more of a news thing, where we'll talk about news that's affecting the market, but I won't necessarily be streaming on here. I'll be streaming on the other channel, the new channel. But this won't happen until like what? If I work very hard, October, November, right? So this is a long process here, but I like to try to map this stuff out, right? So this channel will be more about Trump said this, Jerome Powell said this, Genius Act that, right? Maybe, and then if I ever figure out how to get this channel monetized again, what I'll do is I will go and hire that full-time editor, and I'll start making not content like Altcoin Daily, but I'll make content like TDLR news about crypto and what's going on, and that more basic style where it has some data and stuff like that. Let me see you. So you can kind of just see this for a second. There's some action going on, some missiles going on, right? And then somebody's talking right there. I can talk like that too. Show some footage. And then, I don't know if you can see that really tiny thing. Let me zoom in quite a bit here. There you go. Right? See how there's numbers popping up? Pretty simple stuff here, Just telling a story. Just telling a story that's about 8 minutes long, 8.5 minutes long, right? I'll do all that. I'll make some fancy shorts out of it, but I need somebody that can edit all that for me. To be honest, the more I focus on the new channel, the more likely I'm gonna have AI speak, and I'm not even gonna make myself be on this. I'll clone my voice, which sounds pretty good so far from the test I've ran. I'll clone my voice and I'll have everything be already typed out and written, and then I'll have the editor do it. At this point in time, I'm wondering if I can just do this myself. So I've been uploading a bunch of files here, and I don't know if I can go to my desktop. I don't have any bad stuff on my computer, unlike some of y'all. Rockstar Games Launcher, Cyberpunk videos, test results, resolve templates, OBS files. Yeah. So I've been adding resolve packs to my videos so I can start to do some editing. I pay for Elgato for a yearly subscription, so I should be able to find footage and stuff like that, or take it from online and use it, like, you know, Fire and Woo types of things, right? I can take all that and make videos that I think you guys will like watching, but since I'm new to editing and I'm still, again, I need to work on it. The best editing you guys have seen me do was the Fed. Show all. Remember, it was this one right here. I edited this, but this 3-minute video took me an all-nighter to do, from recording to posting, right? So all that, right? I know how to do that. A little cutscene here, Loki in the background. You know, that was 3 minutes. It took all night. And it's mostly to find the footage. So I think I should be able to do it, since I am a lot better. This is my skill set back 9 months ago. Obviously, I think maybe if I take 5 hours, I should be able to put out a good 8-minute long video for you guys. Maybe 7-minute, maybe 5-minute. I think what I'm gonna do is 5-minute videos first. No, I should just aim for 8 minutes and just get better every 8 minutes. And even if it takes more than a day, I think it'll be better than me just putting out something more half-assed, right? So I'll put out some of those quicker videos of me talking about whatever the news is, but then I'll make an informational video about it in this style, and I think it should work out pretty well. You know, I think the thing is I just need to use AI, because recording is such a struggle for me, and you guys hear me say my ADHD makes me kind of go off on tangents a lot. I struggle talking like that, you know, in a way where it's meant for media, you know, and I would rather just clone my voice, make it sound pretty darn realistic, and then spend my time giving you guys a good product on the other side of that, than me taking 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 times to say a single paragraph. Because every time I mess up, I don't keep on rolling. I have to restart from the beginning of the paragraph, which some of you guys may understand what I'm talking about this, some of you guys may not. It's pretty rough, and I use Gling, which cuts out all the bad stuff, and it's still rough, because I still have some bad stuff in there after Gling has cut all of it out, right? So, and I've been using AI stuff, so yeah. And I'm gonna use ChatGPT. I pay for ChatGPT, as you guys know. I'm gonna use one of their new features to kind of build me out a roadmap of how to do this and make it pretty aggressive. And I'm gonna try to put out as much content as I can for you guys a week and a day. The tutorials, I'm gonna try to do one every other day, which will take about an hour of my day. I think about an hour from beginning to end of tutorial, because I know what I'm talking about, right? And then, but those are going to stay, because it's just half an hour of just me talking to you guys, and like a nice lesson. And then as far as this channel, yeah, much more experimenting, much more editing, pulling out the DaVinci Resolve, all the fun stuff, right? I think it'll be pretty good. And hey, Wilder, happy to see my man. Hope you're doing very well. Just talking about the channel, I think Bitcoin has an opportunity to do a little bit of a rip right here, but it's just be cautious because of what's happening with the world, with the Israel-Iran war. Personal thoughts are, I do believe we are going to get involved. I do believe that will cause Bitcoin to probably start testing out the support levels around 100,000 bucks, but I'm going to buy it around that level, because I still think overall Bitcoin has the momentum needed to go to all-time highs down the road. Yeah. And hey, Crypto Goose, can I activate tips? No. YouTube took away the ability for me to do all of that. There's no members anymore, no tips, no nothing. Which is why I'm doing the other channel. And you know, I like tips, but I don't want to like go asking for tips and stuff like that, right? So my goal is really just to build up the other channel to be a nice little hub for us to talk about crypto. Of course, it won't have as many subscribers and things like that. That's fine, but I got this channel that has a bunch of subscribers. And I've noticed a lot of you guys have been commenting on my new footage and saying you like it, you wish I would do this more, and I've been taking that feedback and kind of changing things up here. So I think that all that should work out pretty well. And then, you know, what's going to be new here pretty soon is my foot's still kind of messed up with the plantar fasciitis, but eventually I do want to start standing up while I stream and standing up while I do record some content for you guys. Right now, let me see if I can show this to you. You guys, I don't have my green screen on right now. I'm having a lady clean up my floors and do some deep cleans and stuff like that. She's not going to be happy because Loki walked into the mud today, then walked right into the house, left paw prints everywhere. But I'm getting my place deep cleaned right now just because it's like spring and summer and stuff like that, even though it's cloudy as can be outside right now. I moved my camera lower right now so you guys can see me at a little bit of a different angle. And then there's basically a camera, like a monitor right here, and then my two monitors over here. So I have a little bit of a split so you guys can see me. I know you guys probably can't see. Well, you know, if I just move this ahead a little bit, see, that's a monitor right there, right? Move it back over here. So this is where I see your guys' comments. This is where I see what you guys are seeing, and this is where I see just like side stuff. In this case, it's just me talking to a friend that runs a marketing agency, and he's like really good at the algorithm, and he's like, oh yeah, this video is doing well, your content's doing better. And I'm like, oh yeah, sweet, awesome, you know. So yeah. And here, I'm happy to see my man. Hey Mattis, Onyx coin, do you think it's worth the gamble? Yes, I do think it's worth the gamble, but I don't think you need to put a lot of money into it for the gamble. So I'm thinking less than $100 for that type of coin. Yeah, I do think it's worth a gamble. Yeah, I definitely do. Excuse me. What direction do you see Bitcoin going, brother? Oh, we just talked about this. So short term up, if we go to war, down, and then overall still up over the next few weeks. I still think we have that juice to go higher. I haven't really seen anything that's really going to be a nasty catalyst for us except for this war. This war does grind down Bitcoin's ability to reach like an all-time high level. And I guess by that I'm kind of sounding funny. Bitcoin will reach some nice level, I'm assuming, like 150,000, 175,000. Maybe Bitcoin was meant to hit 200,000, but because if we go to war, I think that level would make it go down to $175,000, right? For that end all be all time high for this cycle. Hopefully that makes sense. Loki would like another treat. He likes this lamb a lot. I don't buy it for him so often because it's like expensive, like 20 bucks for a peg. And I'd rather get him something that lasts a little bit longer. Like I get him those beef chew toys. But he seems to like these a lot. Look at him. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. At least he knows to take it very gently before he demolishes it. Yes, price target up in the short term here. We got some resistance on the 1 hour chart, some volatility here, 2 hour, 3 hour. You see all these moving averages, right? We're going to have to retest at least 105,700, so maybe another 500 bucks higher. And then after that, going into the morning, probably not this 4 hours, probably sometime next 8-9 hours, we're going to try to make another push back up here towards 107,000 bucks. If you're buying right now, I'd be out of there. I'd be out. I'd be chilling, right? Yeah, but that's just me right now. There we go. Actually, back out there. There we go. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do that first test, fail a little bit, then have the larger one about like 5 hours, 6 hours from now, something like that. And hey, Alexander, happy to see you. I know the pup is really having a good time here, isn't he? He's getting all of his good food and stuff like that. But yeah, so there'll be some changes to the channel. To this point, I just don't know what I'm gonna do about this one because they won't tell me what I did wrong. Like, they have a general idea, right? A general thing. A general thing, and I've explained this many times. They say reuse content, right? But they won't tell me what it is, like basically what video use reuse content, right? And I appealed it, and they said the videos referenced in your appeal are not representative of your channel. And so I did like 3 shorts, how I make them. I did 3 videos, how I make them. I did 3 streams, how I make them, because obviously streams are the easiest, right? And they still were like, we can't tell you what's wrong. And I was like, okay. and then I deleted a whole bunch of content when I reapplied, and that's why you guys see the last, what, 90 days, right? Or maybe, what was it, 2025? See how my views dropped off right here? I deleted a bunch of content off of my channel, which was a big mistake in hindsight here, and my views have never recovered after that. So I'm just going to, just transform this channel into something new, slowly build up the other channel. I'm gonna be streaming here for a while, do my Dogecoin streams here for a while, and then what I'm gonna do is with the other channel, as that one becomes more popular and people watch it, once that one's monetized, I'll bring the Dogecoin stream to that channel. I'll bring these streams over to that channel, right? That may take a little bit longer. The Dogecoin one will go as soon as it's monetized. Me going over there will probably take about 5,000 subscribers or something like that, right? And then this one will be more about finance, crypto, stocks, options, news around all those topics, and then just general news as well that I think I can make a few bucks off of when it comes to, not a few bucks, a few views off of as far as news, because I'm not gonna make any money off the channel, right? And maybe it switches or something like that, I don't know. But that's the type of stuff that I think will work out pretty well for me with this channel here. Because again, I was getting some good content. I wasn't maybe making a lot of money, or I guess technically, you know, like 2024, I made 12,000 bucks. Again, not like life-changing money, but that's 12,000 bucks I could have used that I put into the channel. I got different stuff for it, right? I bought a new camera because Loki broke the old cameras, you guys might imagine. But a bunch of other stuff, right? So it's kind of funky, and I wish I would have known what happened. I'd feel a lot better about YouTube if they just told me what I did wrong, but they can't tell me what I did wrong, and I think that's what really irks me more than anything. If I knew what I did wrong, I would say, oh, that's my bad, let me fix it right now, and I'll wait the period for me to reapply, which takes about 3 months. I'll wait and I'll be good to go, right? But if you never tell me what I did wrong, then I'm just kind of flailing out here being like, oh my God. And part of me is like, I wonder if I can just go tell my local representative in Congress, like state Congress, hey man, like, I got this problem with YouTube. Is there a way you can like pass a bill? I know it may take like a year or something, but is there a way you can just pass this bill to help a lot of YouTubers out? Because I feel like we all kind of get treated like this way sometimes, and we don't know what's happening. That type of stuff I feel can go a long way, but I don't know if it can really happen, right? So yeah, a little bit interesting. Alexo just got demonetized today. I'm late, so I'm not sure if you know this. No, I have not. Let me go see Alexo. Let me go over here actually. Get that up there. Alexo. See, in crypto, is this Alexo you're talking about? This guy? Maybe he's making content. I don't know. Years ago. This can't be the Alexo you're thinking of. Alexo. I don't know who this person is. Yeah, Alexo. Movie recaps. No, I don't know. I don't know who Alexo is. Maybe Alexo Crypto? I have no idea. But yeah, what do you call? Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Let me just tell you guys that it is a massive pain in the butt right now. That being said, it's something I have to deal with. No, not him. Yeah, I don't know who the Alexo is. I wonder what's his channel name. I guess probably say what's his channel name. That can make a difference here. Oh, Alexo Crypto. Okay, there we go. I figured there was something crypto. Do I know him? I don't even know if I know him. I might know the channel, but I might not know him as a person. I usually try to know as many people as I can. There you go. Also crypto. Oops, sorry, that's an old video right there. VWeb. Oh yeah, he makes tutorials just like me. Yeah, he makes tutorials just like me. He's been making more tutorials than me though, right? Let's see. I like those long, boring ones though. Shorts. Live. Let's see. All green screen action himself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's just a crypto thing and they can go after the smaller viewer channels, you know? But yeah, I'm stuck as everybody else at this point in time, right? And until have ever used Luxago in day trades? Yeah, I've used it a few times, but for me, it's more been about like, oh, we have a 4-hour breakout. If I hold for the 4 hours, we're probably gonna have another good chunk of moves there. I typically haven't scalped with it too much because although it works pretty well, the profits haven't been what I've liked because of the fees of exchanges. So you can even use it with options as far as the stock market. That works better because the fees are so much less. But with crypto, you know, I'd say it's better with trades that last 4 to 12 hours when it comes to the fees, if you kind of factor that in. If you want to scalp and you want to use it, you can, but you're gonna have to find an exchange that has very low fees, and that's something like K6. I have a link for it down below, but that might be the only exchange where you want to scalp on it, right? And it's a pretty good exchange, right? I know a few of you guys use it, but yeah, yeah, there's not really much to say besides that. Yeah, like if you like to scalp, like especially on stocks, it's fantastic, right? But if you are, I find better use of it because of the fees. You know, when I'm holding for hours, not necessarily days, just hours, I feel like it gets me more money. And hey, Michael, how does one become a mod on your new channel asking for a friend? So tomorrow I'm gonna start promoting it, and then I think this weekend I'll start having videos on it. If you comment on that video, I should be able to make you a mod. I think what's gonna end up happening as well is every video that I post on that channel, maybe I'll start doing it with this channel as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the benefits or the benefits. I'm gonna start doing premieres. So the premieres are basically a live stream of the video where you guys can live stream chat with each other while it's going, right? And then it goes public afterwards. So I might have to do a premiere for the video, see you message in the premiere, but I think it should be fine. And then if not, I think you can just give me, I'll ask for this later on once the other channel's going. I will ask for your username, and then I can always like manually put you into the back end of my YouTube system, right? Because I've removed a lot of mods over the years, put some on. Sometimes mods have drama, but you've never had drama, thank God, right? But you know, it's always a crazy time to be a mod, especially in crypto and things like that. But yeah, you'll be a mod, no worries. Heck, you might as well lead the mods as far as I know. The lowest you found is BTCC. Yeah, I haven't used BTC in a minute, but yeah, that is a good exchange right there. You should make this an AI channel that shouts out the other. Yeah, what do you call it? I will have it. I'll be here. I'll be shouting out. AI. So there's different ways of doing it. Like, I want my face to be on this channel, right? But when it comes to daily videos and stuff like that, where I do the news, my face won't be on those ones. My face will be on the channels where I'm talking about whatever is popular for the day, right? Let's say Trump attacks Iran. I will do a 10-minute video talking about that. Oh my God, Trump attacked Iran. But I'll have a formal video where my face isn't on there because it's using my voice, the AI voice, right? An AI clone of my voice. And then I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll, you know, and then that's how people won't see me there. But I think it should all work out. I'm pretty optimistic for it. I just need to get the ball rolling. So what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna, after the stream, I'm gonna have ChatGPT kind of build me out a full plan of how to work it out. Because this channel, I mean, you know, it does have a lot of subscribers. People do watch my stuff. It just depends on what type of stuff people want to watch usually, though, right? Do they want to watch my streams? Do they want to watch my shorts? Do they want to watch this, that, whatever? And so, but on the new channel, all you're going to see is daily technical analysis updates. That'll be 5 to 10 minutes long, just what I think about with the market as far as Bitcoin. That's it. And then maybe I'll open up to Apple or Tesla, but right now, just crypto, just Bitcoin. And after that, you know, a few times a week, maybe once or twice a week, I'm gonna add a tutorial on how to trade on something, right? And then that'll work out as well. Yeah, things like that should work out pretty well for me. And hey, Noir. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I'm very happy that even though YouTube demonetized me, I still have my living of trading, talking to you guys, going to expos, making deals, doing consulting things, helping people understand crypto, right? I still have that. But as far as, like, again, like the extra 12,000 or so dollars I can make off a YouTube channel every year, yeah, that money isn't necessarily going into my channel, right? I had to buy a new computer this year. I would have loved to have that $12,000 to buy this $5,000 computer, but I didn't, right? So it does have a weird way of affecting creators. And I think the issue is, again, my issue isn't that I got demonetized. I can live with being demonetized. My issue is they won't tell me what I did wrong and how I can fix it. If you're making that decision to not tell me what I did wrong or not tell me how I can fix it, I feel like it's more targeted and not like, oh, the algorithm just flagged you and yeah, let me check and see what's going on. I don't feel like it's like that at all. I feel like it's, oh yeah, you got flagged, we demonetized your channel, but we're choosing not to help you out and tell you what you did wrong. And because of that, you don't know what to do, which means we're not going to pay you anymore. And again, if they're not paying me anymore, maybe that looks good for their bottom line when it comes to their stocks and stuff like that, as far as, you know, Google. But I just don't know, and I'm not going to make accusations because I don't know, right? But, you know, it doesn't feel good as far as I'm concerned, right? And hey, Mattel, happy to see my man. Prakash, maybe that's your name. Happy to see my man. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, guys, that's kind of my honest thoughts about what's happening right now. It kind of sucks, but I think with the new channel, it should be fine. Tomorrow, you're gonna see me start to promote stuff a little bit more. I'm hoping I can stream tomorrow. It just depends on when I wake up and stuff like that. If not, I'll just stream Friday in the afternoon, and we'll call it. You know, we'll be fine there. But kind of just an annoying thing to have to deal with, I would have to say, right? More of an annoying thing. So, but now, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream right now. I'm kind of tired. I think I need to go take a nap and do something like that. Loki's over here looking like he wants to go outside. I know you guys can't see him, but he wants this last little big piece of lamb right here. And you can't even help yourself. Yeah, I know. Yeah, huh? Loves lamb. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts about the channel. I'll make another video about this here in the future. Maybe just a dedicated video. It might mess up my algorithm a little bit, but I'll make a stream about it. I'll make just a dedicated stream. Maybe people won't watch the stream, that's fine. But we'll just talk about what's happening there, and I think it should work out pretty well for us. But yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before all this changes happen. But you will notice there's no more tutorials on this channel. Those will happen on the new channel. All technical analysis, update videos, and news about what's happening in the cryptocurrency market will be on that channel. This one will be more about general news updates about the market, but not necessarily like, oh, here's what the Bitcoin's price action is doing, right? You're going to hear more about crypto during the streams, if anything, but the streams are still going to be like at least 2 hours long, 3 hours if I have time, right? And that should work out pretty well. But yeah, this has been very annoying to try to figure out what I did wrong, because nobody will answer me. And because nobody will answer me, I feel like I have to go another route, right? And it should be pretty interesting there. So, have a good night, Alexandra. I appreciate all of you guys watching me today. I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight, and I'll be streaming with you guys tomorrow, most likely here. But again, keep an eye on Bitcoin, guys. It's really just about this war. Typically, I tell you guys what I'm doing as far as buying and selling, but I don't even think people need to be doing it right now. Day trading is fine, especially like I said, long right now. Get an opportunity to pop, and you can short it down a little bit later on, but for people wanting to swing like me, yeah, I'm going to sit on my hands a little bit. If you guys want to day trade with leverage, this is going to be opportunity, but everything else, I'm gonna pass out for a little bit on that, on that type of stuff, right? So, see you guys a little bit later, and get ready for some of the new content on this channel and the other channel. I'm expecting to do 5 videos a day on this channel at my peak when I'm really good to go. And